because he's a greasy piece of shit. He's always presented himself as a greasy piece of shit. His fan base has always known he's a greasy piece of shit. And this isn't going to affect him too much. You know, he's come out, he's finally said, yeah, okay, I did these things. Yeah. And all the people are saying, well, he admitted it, so that's fine. Well, for years he said, oh, those bitches are crazy, man, don't listen to them.
Yeah, but everyone said that, so, you know.
Now he's like, okay, well, I guess I'm busted, I gotta admit it. Yeah. But I think his fans still want to see him, and they're going to want to hear him talk about this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, and I don't know, like, a lot of any of them, the cases I was reading, like, are we starting? Can we start? We can go? Yeah. Okay, so this is the beginning. With the Harvey Weinstein thing, any of the cases I read, like, they were kind of like, I felt bad for kind of laughing just because it seemed like fucking surreal, because it's like this fat, pudgy guy talking business, and all of a sudden it's like I just started taking my clothes off and like washing myself in the shower and still talking about the business deal that we're doing. So it's like, what? How the fuck does this even, you know, but then Louis C.K., the weirdest thing was, like, he asked girls, and then they'd say no, but then, like, one girl jokingly said yes, so immediately he whipped his dick out. It's like he's been waiting 10 years for that or something.
Yeah.
But, okay, I'm here with Nelson Mayer.
Is that how we start, or do we capture that back conversation?
I don't know.
We just jump right in. Cool, I like it.
Yeah. So I'm Nelson Mayer. What have you been up to lately?
Well, besides jerking off when you came in the room, which kind of started this whole conversation, I've been on the road a lot. It's been a busy Christmas, which is good.
Yeah.
I've been hosting. I don't know if I told you this. I've been doing this. Am I supposed to look at the camera, or is this one of those things where you don't look at it kind of shit?
Well,
no, just be natural.
I'm so amateur. I'm like, am I talking to these fucks, or am I talking to you?
Well, and it's funny, because when I was thinking of doing this, it's like, I got all those, like, mini docs, and I was like, no, I want to do, like, a podcast with Nelson, because it's, like, same information over longer, and it's more real. That's, like, the trend right now. But then I'm like, oh, it's so fucking easy because you don't have to edit anything.
Yeah, and then you must know that I also hate podcasting.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I read your Facebook the odd time, but yeah.
I think they're fucking dumb. Every one I've ever been on has been boring. I've listened to it for about 10 minutes and then I shut it off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We're going to have, like...
So, anyways, what I've been doing? I've been doing these game show things. I've been hosting these corporate events, and a lot of them, sometimes it's comedy, sometimes it's game shows. So I'm doing Family Feud. I host Family Feud. That's what I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. It's a lot of fun. You know, I start with some comedy, I do the game, end with some comedy, and then get home. It's an easy paycheck.
So do you still run the, like, open mics? We're from
Hell no. I hate open mics, man. You know, and in this city especially, I especially hate open mics. I've been running shows on and off since 2012, as you're aware, and this is going to go somewhere. I'm going to piss somebody off. So the open mic people in this city, and the comedy scene in this city, fucking sucks, man. Yeah. It sucks. I hate it. I'm going to distance myself from it. I'm distancing myself from all you guys. There's some very good people in this scene. Even people that I don't support or they don't support me, I still like them. Yeah. And I get it. There's a dichotomy between, you know, there's their side, our side. And people, oh, there's no our side. There is. It's been a different, you know, experience for me running shows, and it's been frustrating, both with the comics that come to my show, because they don't support the venue, they don't buy drinks, they're all broke, right? So they're sitting there drinking water all night, wondering why the bar says, we can't host you anymore, right? And then I'm the idiot that hosts an open... Oh, Nelson's got another open mic. Let's see if this one lasts for 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So I just got frustrated with it. I'm like, you know, you can't run an open mic without good comedians. Yeah. And most people that come to my shows weren't good comedians. They're having fun, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. I like putting that on stage. But if you're not good, then buy a burger or something, right? Yeah. Like, help me keep this afloat, bring some friends. And, you know, the good comics don't want to come out because there's no audience, right? Yeah. They don't want to perform for 5 shitty comedians in the back of the room that have just done 10 minutes of rape jokes, right? Yeah. So... Yeah, if you want a half-hour podcast, bro, I'm going to go for an hour on this shit. Yeah. I'm not running the open mics anymore. It's too frustrating. You know, I put in a lot of work for very little payoff, and I just thought, fuck it, I got more important things to do.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, even in, I went to Edmonton, and, like, that's when I would, like, I don't really do stand-up anymore. But I remember talking to guys there. They're like, it's kind of the same thing here. It's the same thing everywhere. Like, there's kind of two big clips.
I've traveled all over Canada. It's the same thing in Thunder Bay, Calgary, Edmonton. Everybody has their thing. And I have no animosity with anybody on that side. When comics would come to me and whine that one of the other guys wouldn't put them up, I'd be like, well, same thing. You're not supporting their room. You're not being funny. You got to be one of the two things. Yeah. They're running it different than me. That's fine. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not saying it's better. It's just different. And you're going to get a better quality of comedy at those shows. You know, I'm the first to say that. So I've never shit on those rooms saying they all suck or anything like that. My room sucks. It's fun, though, right? Yeah. I mean, that was the idea behind it.
Yeah, a lot of the other rooms in Winnipeg have been, like, very strict. I did see it as a bit of a boys' club. I kind of did notice that. Yeah. But not like boys, like, oh, we can't have women. I know some people tried to make it seem like that, but, like, a lot of boys isn't, like, there's, like, a group of 10, 40-year-old friends, and they want to put each other up. Yeah. Though they want to, like, really make you work your way up. But, yeah, you know, you get in that friend group, also, and you get more.
I've never really gone to the room, so I can't speak to it. I know what I've heard from some people, and I've heard a lot of people complain about that stuff, but most of those people are shitty comics.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you're not shitty, they'll probably put you up.
Yeah.
You know, because you want funny in your room.
That's true, yeah. Shit, what was I going to say? Yeah, okay, shit, I probably should have introduced you. Yeah, he's a comedian, Nelson Mayer. You're also on, like, APTN every once in a while?
I was. They canceled my show.
Oh, great.
You know, thanks for bringing that source
up.
Sorry.
Fuck, I didn't
know APTN plays, like, 12 fishing shows, and they're sitting around a boardroom like, man, we gotta cut something. Let's lose the laughing drum. And then somebody else is like, do we even fucking play the laughing drum?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say this shit? I don't know.
I don't know. You say whatever you want.
Okay, so they canceled my show. It's ridiculous. And then I had an agent who contacted me and said, oh, we want to send you for this audition for an indigenous entertainment show. You can be the host. Yeah. And I was like, sweet, that sounds good. And it was just a fancy way of saying bingo caller. I'm just kidding. It was something, but, you know, it didn't work out. Apparently, they're bringing back my show, though, APTN. Can I say it, my show? Fuck it, I just did.
Yeah.
So the laughing drum is supposed to come back. Hopefully it's different, because, again, this might get me in trouble, but that show sucked. I was on it, and I hated it. I hated it. It was so terrible, you know. They'd have comedians come on to talk about serious subjects, so they want us to keep things light and keep things funny, and they're like, so let's talk about these 10 kids killed themselves up in this northern community.
It's like, well...
Now go, make it funny. That's not funny. I'm not going to talk about that shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, jeez.
You know, or you're talking about serious political... I'm not a political dude. I got 6 kids. You know, if you want to talk about Dora the Explorer, I'm all up on that shit. You know, that's what I know. I don't know politics. I don't pay attention. We were talking about Trump. I was pretending to give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't...
Well, you know, and it's something about politics. There's certain things I find really funny, because I find, like, you know, a lot more celebrities, because of him, are probably going to be candidates now. Like, singers are starting to run for Congress. Different world we live in, but it's like, I think people are just tired of hearing about politics. It's been like, because we had the Canadian election and the American election, like, right by each other, and, like, the American election was, like, 2 years of campaigning almost.
Yeah. Well, now we don't have to worry about it. We're just hearing about all the celebrities jerking off and raping women left and
right.
Yeah,
so it's like, oh, yeah, fuck, that's... and then we were talking about Louis C.K., and we were like, maybe we should save some of this, and we were talking about, like, I personally think his career will survive this, because he's been someone to be like, you know what, I did do that, and it was wrong, while everyone else is like, nah, they're fucking liars, and even George K., what did he say? He's like, no, everyone that ever comes forward is telling the truth. And then 3 days later, he got accused, and he's like, no, except that guy. That guy's fucking lying.
Yeah. You know, the whole Louis... I love when people say Louis C.K., you know, he admitted it, right? Because for years, like I said, he's been saying, oh, those women are crazy bitches, don't listen to them, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, I'm not even gonna dignify that with an answer, I'm just gonna go beat off in the closet. And now that it's all out there and he's busted and everybody's doing the Me Too thing, he's fucked. He's like, oh, well, okay, yeah, I'm going to be honest and respect these women.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was your respect years ago?
That's a good point.
And, you know, I'm not saying whether I... This is a hard subject to
I know,
navigate.
and like, fuck, we're
no,
not gay.
I don't know if I want to say, you know, what he did was bad. Well, it was bad. You're jerking off in front of women that maybe don't want you to. That's fucking greasy.
That is.
But back to the subject of whether his career will survive. It will.
Yeah.
And like I said before, it's because he's always been a greasy bastard and we've all known it. And his fan base knows that. His fan base will support him.
Yeah.
His fan base wants to hear from him. So when he comes back, they're going to buy tickets. They're going to go see what he has to say.
Yeah. Well, and I want to be careful I say this, but it's like, I don't think what he did was great. I don't think what he did was
So if
great.
I whip it out and start jerking off right now, we're cool?
Yeah, well, fuck, it'd be better than if you drugged and raped me, right?
Valid point.
A lot of people say, like, oh, Crosby 2.0, another rapist comedian. It's like, you know, like, what he did wasn't right, but it wasn't that. I don't think everything should be put at the level of drugging and raping. You know, if you smack a woman's ass or a guy's ass in your workplace, you're not a rapist. That's a sexual assault, but it's like, you're not drugging and raping someone. And geez, I shouldn't have talked about it. Now I'm gonna be nervous putting
this
okay.
up.
Like, okay. We shouldn't have talked about
No,
this.
it's okay. I know what you're saying. I'm gonna go out on a limb and agree with you to a point there, so that if you're getting thrown under the bus, I'm there with you. Okay?
Yeah.
There's definitely different levels, and we're gonna both get in trouble for saying that because I already seen Ben Affleck and Matt Damon getting in shit for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What did I want to say? Okay, but if it was so, like, no big deal, right? Then
I don't think it's no big deal.
Didn't just admit it right away when people said, "Hey, I heard you were jerking off in front of women."
I don't think.
I did that. I asked them.
Yeah, I don't think it's no big deal.
Like, he knew it was wrong.
I think it's wrong, and like also people think about like the power dynamic. It's like if you were to ask me if you can jerk off, and I just like decline or say yeah, like that's kind of different.
Yeah.
But it's like if a cop pulls you over and like hint, and that's how you're gonna get out.
That's where
it's like a power dynamic. If your boss says it, or it's kind of like a really weird situation to put people in.
Yeah.
You know, and like
thankfully cops don't do that to me too often.
Yeah.
I never get any warning. I'd rather them jerk off in front of me because they always give me the fucking ticket. I never get a warning. I've been pissed off. Pulled over by cops. My buddy had like 8 people in the fucking car.
Yeah.
Okay? He made an illegal left turn. Nobody's wearing seatbelts, right? The cop pulls us over, gives us a warning. And he's a white guy, right? And I'm pissed off because I've never been given a warning. And I would rather have a cop pull me over and say, well, you know what? I'm going to let you get out this time, but you're going to have to watch this for a few minutes. I'd be cool with that. Yeah. I'd rather them do that than fucking give me the ticket.
Yeah. It's funny as you get older, stuff like that. When you're young, you'd be like, oh, no, I never. But as you get older, you're like, yeah, you know what, that'd be okay. That'd be, a little bit okay with that, you know?
Yeah. It's better than the ticket, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
I know what you're trying to say, back to that thing. And we should say there's different levels, because people get affected by these things, and obviously it's...
different way, yeah.
If you're a struggling comedian and you want to get on tour with a big-name comic, and he says, do you mind if I whip my dick out? In the moment, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Obviously, your scenario kind of makes sense there, what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying like people shouldn't look at every case. I don't know. I don't want to.
I think you're saying it's easier to overcome that than if he was blatantly out drugging women and raping them. You're saying it's not.
Well, I'm not even saying talking about him overcoming. Okay, I was, but it's just I don't think he.
Is it funny to use the term overcoming?
Yeah, that's funny.
Bad joke.
Yeah, and even like the Harvey Weinstein thing, people were like, oh, well, those women got roles out of it. It's like, not necessarily. It wasn't like a prostitution thing. It wasn't like, if you do this, I'll give you this. It was like, you better do this, or you will never have a career. So it was like a blackmail. It wasn't like a proposition.
Yeah.
And I don't think people, I don't know. I don't even know why we started talking about this. But
yeah, we're supposed to talk about Thor.
Fuck.
Keep it all, man.
Everyone's talking about it, right? So it's kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid it when you're talking about entertainment.
Yeah.
Because everybody's... You know what I've been wondering lately is... This is the online media age. Yeah. Everything's out there. All information's out there, easily shareable, right? Like, how much of this shit... This has been happening forever, right?
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe some creepy director was beaten off in front of Shirley Temple when she was 8 years old, right?
It's... Well, and then like even a lot of... Like, people are like, oh, Seth MacFarlane predicted all, like, the Kevin Spacey to this or that. I saw in an interview, and he's like, nah, man, we've known about this stuff, like the Caitlyn Jenner dressing up, and like he had all those like hinted jokes, Simpsons.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh wow, he predicted the future. It's like, no, this has been happening for 10 years, and that's a way for him to tell the world about it without slandering someone.
Oh yeah.
Like Kevin Spacey, and like I don't know, it's it's funny because like that Alex Jones guy, everyone's like, ah, he's crazy, but he talked about how Hollywood's a bunch of rapists and pedophiles for like 10, 20 years, however long he's been on, and it's like guys like that are turning out to be right. So it's like, man, I wonder what else he's right about. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I'm just gonna nod and pretend.
Yeah, great. He also has a hearing infection.
So
he can't hear everything I'm saying. Wow, we should probably really talk about you because this is more about what's supposed to be about you. But yeah, you would say you're a comedian, TV host. What else have you been up to lately?
That's it, man. I got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
December was crazy busy. I was touring with Don Burns to get. That's why I steal his merchandise, right? So. Touring with him a little bit, doing some shows. I got some of my own stuff. I got this thing in Thunder Bay coming up. I'm hosting this comedy competition, which is basically all Winnipeg and Thunder Bay comedians. Nobody else is in it. So talk about fucked up comedy community, man. That one's even worse than Winnipeg in terms of the fights that they have, because they hate each other passionately and actively sabotage each other's shows. I don't know if anybody in Winnipeg ever actively sabotaged my show, except for one guy that used to run open mics who said, if you go to his open mic, you can't come on mine. Other than that, I don't think anybody gives a shit. They do their shows, I do mine.
Hey, I had like a 50-year-old some guy. I remember that, like that day, it was just kind of weird. I turned on my Facebook, there's guys tagging me in status. Because what we had, there was this like fake Facebook account called Colin Spades.
I remember this, yeah.
And I remember I got messaged by this guy, and he's like, hey, what can you tell me about, like, the local comedy scene? Who should I watch out?
Oh, was him messaging you?
Yeah,
okay.
And I was like, what I said to him, I was like, I think everyone in this city's pricks, but it's like, you gotta choose your pricks. It's like Nelson Mayer, some guys think he's an asshole. Yeah. This guy, some guys think he's an asshole. Meanwhile, I get along with Nelson, but I might not get along with other people, but it's not really up to me. It's more for you to find out based on you. But then a lot of people thought, because he asked a lot of people that, and I guess a lot of people did talk shit, and then a lot of people, for some reason, they thought it was you, then they thought it was this guy, then they thought it was me. I don't know.
I always heard it was you or Dave Weasel, and then I heard a couple people say that it was me.
Yeah.
I got a message from this guy too, but mine was different. Mine was, hey, this comic, a friend of mine, says this shit about you, and I could tell right away it was somebody trying to cause some shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't engage, I just bailed out of that conversation. I talked to the comic who he said was throwing me under the bus just to say, hey, what's up,
Yeah.
And we smoothed things over fucking quickly. And
then it was like, oh, I can't wait till my article comes out. And like, I don't know, I think it was just a bored dude on his fucking computer. And yeah.
It's one of us, and by one of us, I don't mean us. I mean, somebody in the scene that was just trying to cause shit for everybody.
Just stir it up. And like, some people fucking get off on drama.
And
admittedly, I deleted my Facebook account not too long ago because I'm so bad at like trolling people. Like it's like I saw a chick, she posted of like one of those photos that's like not like a meme, but like how you can type your status now into a photo, and it was like name some things that guys do to lose good women. And then I'm like, well, maybe the woman in the first place wasn't that great, and the guy realizes she's a crazy bitch because she posts stuff like this. And I don't get off on it, but I kind of do because I'm like, it's like my exciting thing for the next 10 minutes, but it's like, this kind of makes me look like an asshole. I should maybe stop.
Yeah. I got banned from Facebook. I got put in a Facebook timeout for a little while.
Really? Why?
I posted a joke. I was listening to the radio, and the song Funky Cold Medina came on by Tone Loc. You familiar with that song?
No.
It's an 80s song. And basically, in the tune, he's talking about date raping chicks, right? But it's like a dance tune. So I posted the song, I think, and I put, because in the song he takes home some chick, her name is Sheena, and I thought she'd be good to go with a little of this funky cold Medina, so I slipped it in her drink, and then when I got home, oh no, she was a man. So basically, to me, the lyric is, so I threw his fag ass out and beat his shit up. It's like, what the hell kind of shit did we used to dance to? This homophobic, gay bashing, date raping shit, and it struck me as funny that and I posted the lyrics, like I changed them, and to my interpretation, and I put, basically, this is the shit, can you believe we used to dance to this? And somebody read that and said, oh, you're promoting rape. Actually, I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying it's disgusting. We used to think this was okay, right? But she complained to Facebook, and the Facebook gods deemed me as being pro-rape, and I got banned for 3 days because of this. And I'm like, I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah, it's
like, the 80s were you look at the 80s, I call them the rapey 80s. There was some fucked up shit in our movies. If you watch Revenge of the Nerds, you ever watch Revenge of the Nerds?
No, that's actually, I was born in 1994, so.
That's why I figured you're like born 10 years later. Revenge of the Nerds, for those that have seen it or don't know, there's a scene in it where the nerd hooks up with this chick by pretending to be her boyfriend. He puts on the mask, goes and rapes her.
Wow.
And then they fall in love because you were so much better than my boyfriend. I'm so glad you raped me. And it's 16 Candles. John Hughes, prolific director. You guys are film people. You know John Hughes. 16 Candles, the end of the movie. The nerd's supposed to take the chick home, and instead she's drunk out of her mind, and he bangs her.
Yeah,
that's rape. And even Back to the Future, right? Like Biff's trying to rape, Marty McFly's mom, and at the end of the movie, he's hanging out with them, washing their car, and it's just like, oh yeah, crazy old rapey Biff. Remember when he tried to rape me? We're all friends now, though.
Oh, jeez.
There's so much examples of that shit in the 80s,
College Humor did like a good skit about that, where they're like, oh, how all college pranks are rapey. It's like, yeah, we're gonna like pay a hooker to suck this guy off forcefully, and they're like, that's pretty rapey. They're like, nah, it's funny. It's funny. It's the 80s. It's funny.
The 80s, man. I haven't seen that skit. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty good. I don't know. I like them. They're not bad. I find like a lot of... Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. I don't sound like a crazy Alex Jones here, but... So, you're a movie buff. Have you seen The Last Jedi?
No, I haven't. I bought tickets to it. I bought that stupid D-box seats shit, whatever. They're like $25 a ticket.
Yeah.
And then I ended up being stuck out of town.
Shit.
So I missed it. I didn't see it. I ended up giving the tickets to my son to go to.
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to avoid it because everything I log into Facebook, there's posts and there's articles and there's people that hate it, and I don't want to know anything about it because I still haven't gone to see it.
Well, someone asked me to I was like, I liked it, but I could see why it divides a lot of Star Wars fans, and I can't even explain it to you without spoiling it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm trying not to read it, so let's fucking move on.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Star Wars movie?
Probably Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I know everybody says Empire Strikes Back, but when I was a kid, I watched that one and I hated it. I didn't like Empire. I know it's the best one. When I was a kid, I thought it was stupid and boring. Return of the Jedi was the best for me. I went to see that one like 8 times in the theater when it first came out.
You know what? It's funny because I've seen so many lists where it's like rank Star Wars movies from 1 to 9.
Yeah.
And some people put Rogue One as the first or as the last.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have seen Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was good.
Yeah, but it's just funny because my favorite's Revenge of the Sith. I don't really I don't know, I kind of do like the prequels because that's my era, right?
Okay.
But at the same time, I do like them. And the funny thing is...
Only guy in the history movies that likes Jar Jar Binks.
No, I think a lot of... Well, I like the fucking... I think he was supposed to be a Sith, but George Lucas kind of pissed...
Backpedaled a bit?
Yeah. Because he's like, But even the actor, he had some tweets or whatever. He's like, it was supposed to be a big thing, then it never was. And it's all these because, the first thing you see him do is he... like jumps up really high and then dives, and like you don't think anything of it because he's a fucking frogman, but then you're like, who else jumps that high and shit? Like Jedis or Siths, or even like how he always just fucking happens to survive, and it's like his style of fighting looks like a lot of like the drunken.
I've only watched those ones like once each. That's it.
Out of the prequels, which one's your favorite?
This is the last one.
Probably because it like ties both together.
Well, it's because I'm a Vader fan, right? Yeah. And that's what the only thing about Rogue One that bothered me was I wanted more Vader. I got so excited when they were making this movie because I'm like, sweet, you got an opportunity to bring back the greatest movie villain of all time, and they did, and they probably did it right. I'm just a selfish bastard. I wanted like an hour and a half of all Vader, and you know, obviously it's gonna too much is you know.
Well, because it's like he was like it's like kind of like, you know, I look at the original trilogy and I don't think it's as great as what's coming out now, but I think because that was such a groundbreaking thing in the 70s, like those movies were a lot bigger to its era than these ones are to our era.
Yeah,
like these are really good, well written, yada yada yada, but they're not like groundbreaking. Like that was like the first movies to like use a lot of CGI, and like they're. You know, Lucasfilm founded Pixar to make animation for them, and kind of it was groundbreaking for film. So I don't like I like him, but and this what I was getting at was with Vader. He it's like this villain that I think there's a lot more hype to him. I think Kylo Ren in a lot of ways, Darth Maul's cooler than Vader in a lot of ways, but it's actually the comic version.
I'm gonna fucking leave, man. Done. Fuck it.
No, like I think the way he was in the actual like original trilogy, like you can't like the lightsaber fight sucked, but you still like him. Because it's the original Star Wars, right? You know what I mean?
You know what I think, man? I think the first trilogy, the one that I grew up with, right, is, you know, you guys are fucking YouTube fan. You know, if it's not 5 minutes long, you're fucking bored. And those original ones had a little more of time to build up their characters and the story arcs and shit like that. So you're like, fuck this, I want to see Darth Maul flipping and doing backflips and whatever the fuck.
That was like my favorite thing about Phantom Menace, but then that was about it. Because like I remember as a kid, I was just bored out of my mind. You know, it's kind of weird. As I get older, I got like all into the fucking fake politics of Star Wars. I'm I'm a fucking weirdo. I never thought of myself as a Star Wars fan, but then I found I'd always be watching like Star Wars theory videos. I'm like, maybe I am, but you know. What's the movie you've seen lately? Sorry, I feel like you're gonna say something. I keep cutting.
Oh no, fuck! I'm ADHD, so I jump all over the place. Doesn't matter to me. I'll come back 5 minutes later and talk about Louis C.K. again. You know, that's how my mind works. Lately, what have I seen? I've seen a lot. I've seen everything. I've been going to the States a lot and doing shopping. You got to stay there for 2 days if you want to buy booze and cigarettes and shit.
Really?
So all I do while I'm down there is I go to the theater, right? I'll pay to see one movie and then go see 8. So I've seen pretty much everything that exists right now.
Fuck, someone's gonna actually see this from down there, and then your picture's gonna.
Oh yeah, probably. It's fucking Fargo. So I mean, if you know steal a fucking grape from Safeway, they're gonna put you on the most wanted list. There's not a lot happening in Fargo. Don't believe the hype from the TV show. It's a shitty town. So yeah, I've seen everything. I saw the Justice League. I know you're a big fan of Justice League.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got to admit, like I have bias towards certain things. Like I grew up like that. I was in grade 1 when the animated series came out, so that was my Saturday. That's what I came home and watched every day. That and Dragon Ball Z. That's what I was all about. So it was cool to finally see that turn into live action.
So the stuff from your youth, you're totally looking forward to the Blue's Clues movie, right?
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah, right? What were you saying, though?
No, Justice League. I liked it. I didn't mean to shit all over it on Facebook. I know I kind of did a little bit. I think I said that Marvel's like the big brother, the football star that the parents love. And then DC comes in with a little shitty picture. Look what I drew. Okay, we'll put it up on the fridge beside your brother's awards and shit. I just feel like I just watched Thor Ragnarok. Before I saw Justice League, I thought Thor was fucking fantastic. I thought it was an incredible movie, super well done. And then I watched Justice League, and it's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like DC's trying so hard, and they're rushing through everything. And I think maybe it would have been cooler if they did a little more time on building up the other characters instead of diving into the Justice League right away.
Yeah, they're playing catch-up. And that's something I hated about Batman vs. Superman. It's like this movie I wanted to like. I wanted to be a part of the hype. And like, I hyped up. I was more excited watching the theory trailers about it than actually the actual movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's like the Avengers, they started in 2008, and that's weird to think because that's when the second Dark Knight came out.
Oh,
so a whole DC universe ago, that's when the first MCU came out.
Yeah.
And so they started with the most realistic character, Iron Man. It's like, yeah, he's like Marvel's Batman, like that could totally maybe happen. And then they went to, what did they go to next? It was like Iron Man 2, then Captain America, then Thor, I think. I don't know. But, you know, it slowly, and then like, it wasn't like 8 films in that they actually had the big team.
Yeah.
Now this one, it's like it was the second movie in, and it just seemed like this story in Batman vs. Superman didn't matter. It was more about let's set up the next movies and show them and tease the other characters. They tried to do what Marvel did in 8 years in one movie, I think.
I liked the Batman vs Superman idea. Same thing. I went and seen it, and then at the end, it just seemed kind of stupid to me. It's like they're scrapping it out, and it's like, wait, your mom's name is Martha too? That's so cool. We should hang out sometime. That was fucking shitty. That was a shitty resolution.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that the villains, like the big baddies in these DC movies, fucking suck. Like Suicide Squad, what the hell was that thing? That was terrible. And I liked Suicide Squad to a degree. I liked it, right? But I know you got all fucking painted up and went and seen that one, eh?
Yeah, I did. I don't know, that was a cool memory. Fuck, I hate that. Well, it's bitter in my mind now. But I don't know, I liked it. I got excited to see that. You know, I started dating a chick just because we were both looking for someone to go and dress up like fucking weirdos. You know, and it's funny because I have a cat now. And I told you this joke over Facebook, but I gotta be funny for my podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a stray, so it might be someone's. I'm still like trying to find out if it still has an owner or not. But I can tell it was an outdoor cat because it would always like freak out and try and go out, and then it would also kind of shit. So it's like it knew shitting in the house is bad, just it didn't know where to go. And I had 2 different litter boxes and it wouldn't go. People are like, you should get rid of it. But it's like, nah, it's shitting in a corner consistently. At least it's consistent, you know? The cat's shitting on my floor. He's not shitting on my heart, you know? The cat's not... Like, the last person I let stay here went and fucked a random guy off Tinder, you know? The cat's not gonna do that.
That's
and
fair.
If it did do that, I'd be fucking impressed. And,
yes.
A little bit of my bitter past. But,
I have cats, too. And Wendy was trying to fucking toilet train these cats.
Yeah.
I had to go and buy this $70 contraption to put on the toilet that they would shit on there, and eventually it's supposed to be shitting and pissing in the toilet, right?
Yeah.
The cat's supposed to be toilet trained. It was the stupidest idea ever, because you got a bunch of kids in the house that are taking this thing off so they can use it. They're not putting it back on, so these cats are never knowing where they're supposed to go. Plus, for me, it's awkward as fuck. You ever walk in on somebody when they're trying to use the washroom? Right? You walk in, somebody didn't lock the door properly in a public, and then somebody's sitting there. It's like, oh shit, sorry, man. Like, imagine having that feeling for a cat. That's just weird, right? And the cat's always hovering around the toilet, right? So in the middle of the night, I go to rock a piss, and the cat's in the shower. I don't know that. It jumps out at me, fucking scares the hell out of me. Worse than that, cats like to hit things that dangle, right? So that's my biggest fear. Is in the middle of the night, I'm rocking a piss, and Mittens is starting to jerk me off, right?
Yeah.
And we're going some weird places on this podcast, bro.
I don't mind.
Anyways, it was awkward, you know?
Fuck. You know what? And it's like I was hanging out with someone not too long ago, and their kid, because I guess it's kind of funny, because I explained this to them, and she didn't know why he always wanted his mom, the mom, to go pee with him when he went pee. And it's kind of like how, like, if you ever have a dog or a cat, like, my dog used to open the fucking door to my wash at my parents' house, like, and, like, stare at you for, like, 2 minutes straight, and it's just kind of, like, weird.
Yeah.
But then it's like I read something, it was like a meme on Facebook, then I actually looked it up, and it's like, the reason why your dogs do that is because you normally watch them shit or piss. So they think it's like a bonding thing, so then they're like, oh, I gotta watch him do that thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. It's
I don't know.
Stuff
I was potty trained by my father while he was a raging alcoholic, so to this day I can't take a piss without leaning against the wall like that. Sober or not.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a thing, man.
Fuck yeah. I was like, we're gonna talk about his career. This is gonna be like a mini doc, and it's just
career. I can talk about career.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been going good. You know, I've been touring a lot. I started off doing the local shows, running the open mic, and I was running my own bi-weekly shows around the city, and they were pretty successful. I had pretty good turnouts for those.
This probably should have been right at the beginning when people were still watching, but
yeah, no.
How was your...
At this point, they don't give a fuck. They've tuned out. All the rape shit scared them away.
Do you remember your first show, and, like, how did you start? And, like,
my very first show was actually in Los Angeles. It was an open mic I signed up to do at the Comedy Store, and a friend of mine that works out there got me on, and it was 3 minutes, and I told a joke, and it went nowhere. No, the first joke got a laugh. That was it. Yeah. The first joke got a laugh. A rape joke, no surprise, right?
And like comedians when they're new, they jump to that stuff.
We always go to that shit. We think that's the way to do it to shock people, be funny. We're gonna be edgy and shit.
Because you'd rather get a reaction than no reaction and like saying weird shit. Yeah. I noticed that. You go to like a professional comedy club, it's all like not clean, but it's cleaner. But then you go to open mic, fuck shit ass, kill the baby. It's like
you go to LA though. I mean that's it's still really dark and edgy in the fucking big clubs too, right? I mean I've seen Jeff Ross go up on stage, talk about a fucking lump on his balls, and he's doing rape jokes and all kinds of fucked up shit. And so it's wild. It's a whole different atmosphere out there. They're a lot more tolerant about that weird shit, right? People are trying to go somewhere, and they let you build up to that. Whereas here, I don't know that a lot of the comedians locally here are trying to build up to something or not, but I think as soon as somebody's new and comes out and says something, if somebody disagrees with it, they get attacked. I've seen that happen with new comics, right, where they do a rape joke, and rather than somebody take them aside and say, hey, you know what, maybe here's the reason why you shouldn't do that,
maybe tone it the fuck down.
Immediately shut them down so that they don't come back anymore, right? You can't build a scene that way.
The problem with open mics, though, is a lot of people don't know that an open mic is there that night. And I've seen it where, like, it's been like a hotel. I've seen this, like, no offense, but it happened at your show the first time. I've seen this a lot. I think I told you about this after, and we both kind of agreed, and you're like, wow, fucking Max said something's too much. They might too much. But it's just like, you know, I slowly watched a room of 50 people turn into 3, because it's just like the comics first. I think there's a lot of talented people in Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg? Absolutely. They were coming to my show.
Yeah. Hey, you know that one guy with all the voice impressions? I don't know his name, but I remember he did like the clock or the... Fuck, I don't know his name.
We had a couple of them. We had Dakota and Jesse that both did voices.
Yeah. No, the fucking... He was kind of German or whatever.
German?
I don't know. Hey, but I've actually ran into Jesse, not to name drop, but I've seen him a lot on set, doing a lot of the acting.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of the... holding the cameraman's camera when he's not there, so, you know. Hey, moving up in the world.
Absolutely. Now, even some of the people that come to my show, I mean, I'm joking to a degree saying that none of the funny people came. There's always potential, and that's what I like to see. I like to see a guy like, you know, Brad Paul, who creeped me out the first 24 times I've seen him, right? You know, I had no idea, is he sharing stories from his life or are these made up? You know, I'd like to see when he gets up on stage, and it's happened, where he says something, I'm like, wow, that's genuinely funny. I like it more from a Brad Paul than, say, a Ryan Ash, right? Because Ryan Ash is always funny when I see him. Brad Paul's not always funny. He's usually not. So when he hits something... I don't give a shit. I'm gonna say it straight there. Ask me about any comedian, I'll tell you exactly what I think about them. If they can't take it, fuck them. I like Brad Paul, and he has made me laugh. That's the whole point of that. Right?
You know, there's some though, and it's just I'm not gonna drop names because I'm trying to better myself and be less of a prick. I learned this thing: if you talk bad about people, to be a slightly better person, just don't drop their name. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's some. I fucking went on tour with one, and it's just like I remember. Oh fuck. Both these guys are nice guys. I just remember it wasn't like I can't even say it's like a tour. It was like a tour of open mics and like college fucking like radio shows. But I remember I told my boss, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting booked in shows out in Edmonton. Yeah, and of course when you're in it, you're fucking amping it up, making it seem cool. And I took a week off, and I was like, fuck, I wish I was making minimum wage, but it's like I kind of wish I had that $500 for the fucking bunch of bullshit college radio shows that I did. But, no, it's just, I remember some people, not those guys, fuck now, I'm being too narrow, but, like, some people I've generally seen them go up and not ever get a laugh, but it's, I don't know, I admire them for going up, and I guess a lot of people, like, you know, it is a big thing to go up, and, I don't know, it's like, I haven't gone up in a long time, and I don't know what my reason is, maybe it's just, like, I think it's a good training ground, but I think, the world's going more towards YouTube, and...
Yeah. That's the major problem that has always been with my open mic, right, is that... You know, when I say there's two sides, I'm not saying it in a demeaning way to either side, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm owning what my open mic is. My open mic is pretty shitty. You know, nobody's going to come there to practice to get better because nobody there, for the most part, is trying to be a real comedian. The other side, if it did exist, right, those people are genuinely pretty funny and have potential to go somewhere, and they're doing what they need to do, and that's fine. My room has always been a place for people like those ones that you mentioned that go up week after week, don't get a single laugh, but they're getting something out of it. And that's what I've always liked. That's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to give a space for these people that had no home. Come out once a week, you get to feel like a star and shine. The problem is you can't build a room that way. And I've known that from day one. So it's like I can give a place for these people to belong and have this camaraderie and get up and feel like a star 5 minutes out of the week. And, you know, that's great. I can give that to them, but I can't keep it long term, and that's been the problem, right? I mean, you can't have both. I can't, because you can't get an audience with shitty comics, right? And you can't get good comics without an audience. So this is the thing I've struggled with from the beginning. I wanted to create like a karaoke type vibe where people that are coming to the show know what they're getting. They know they're going to see that weird shit, but they like it, right? And we started to get that a couple times. Just couldn't maintain it. I mean, the comics can't afford to buy any food or drinks, so the venue has to close down. So that's been my struggle. I mean, I could open an open mic and book headliners and put up only the best comics and a couple shitty spots, right? And have it built. I mean, that's easy to do that, right? I mean, not easy. I mean, it takes a long time and it's hard work, but it's much easier than what I've tried to do. And that's been my bane, right? I'm trying to give a home to these people who wouldn't have it otherwise. But at the expense of this is my show is the expense of that, right? So I don't give a shit what they want to do. Like those people that come up week after week and not get a laugh, they're getting something out of it. You know, for 5 minutes out of the week, they get to feel like a star. Maybe they had a shitty week, right? Maybe they've been fucking hammered every turn, left, right, and center. And for 5 minutes, they get to go up on stage and feel like they're a part of something, right? It sounds so corny and cheesy and hokey. I feel like we should have the Full House music in the background, right?
Start crying.
You know? But that's what I've wanted to do, right? And I've done it for a long time, but it's just been frustrating. And I've felt like every open mic I start invariably gets shut down 3 weeks later. So now I'm just the idiot, right? And eventually I got to give up on that and focus on my own career. So that's what I've been doing lately.
Yeah, I've had a couple aha moments, like when I actually went out to those radio shows like one of them said that, like, how many working comedians are there in Edmonton? I was like, I have no idea. And they said 11. And they're like, I don't know, they're one of the biggest cities for comedy in Canada. And then they said how many in Winnipeg? There's like 3. You know? I'd say you're one of them, right? Yeah. Don Bernstein and Big Daddy Taz, who I've never met, but and the funniest thing is I met one guy from Toronto and he was bitching I'm a fan of PewDiePie. I'm a fan of a lot of YouTubers. I don't know why. Like, I think he's kind of cool, he's kind of funny. But he said, he's like, yeah, but he's not like funny like stand-up comedians. And I think there's stand-up comedians even in Winnipeg, all over the place, that are a lot funnier than PewDiePie. Yeah. But something about, do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, the king of the internet, yada. But like, something about, he just puts out constant content. Yeah. And it's always new. Even it's not like, not a lot original, and he even bashes himself for that. Like, he commentates, he watches like Laugh You Lose, and it's like him doing a reaction video, making small little jokes here and there. Yeah. But it's something more about like, I don't know, it's like, well, too bad. It's like, yeah, you're funnier than him. Well, too bad. He's doing better than you. Yeah. Maybe figure out why he's doing better than you. Yeah. Maybe adapt some of the things he's doing.
Yeah, my kids watch all these YouTube things, and I watch them, and they're fucking dumb. And I hate them. And I have that same thought, like, holy shit, I'm so much funnier than this, but I can't do what they're doing. And I think you're right. You told me a long time ago when my son was trying to get into this that the key is content. Just put out content no matter what it is. And I know that you're right. I mean, that's what it is. And PewDiePie started at the right time, and he fucking threw a bunch of shit out, and now he is who he is.
Yeah. Hence why I'm doing this podcast, not putting out the nice edited interviews anymore. But yeah, no, and a lot of like one of my favorite YouTubers ever is Jimmy Tatro. Like, he's kind of the guy why I started making those videos, and even him, like, he doesn't put out a lot of videos. He's more of a movie star now, and that's cool. He started as a YouTuber now. Adam Sandler picked him up, and now he was in 22 Jump Street, and he's in a lot. He was that guy that drove the Dicks, American Vandal. That's Jimmy Tatro. Oh yeah, okay. And like in a podcast. Cody Ko asked, like, well, are you putting out a lot? And he's starting to again, but he's like, a lot of it's clickbait. A lot of it's put a video out a day. It's like, it's 40-minute vlog of someone doing normal shit, and people watch those. Yeah. For the whole, and they don't even edit themselves. They send it off to an editor. So it's like, and he's just like, I don't know, I'm not really into the clickbait. I'm not into the, like, a little weird thumbnail. And then it's like, he likes to put out, like, nice SNL-style skits, and, like, they're nicely shot. Yeah. Well, it's just like, because that's quality YouTube. Like, that's a video a week, but now people are like, fuck, I need a video a day. Yeah. And it's weird because my era of YouTube, like when I was 16 to 18, I think we're the era of kids that watch TV. So, like, in order to get our attention, they had to have, like, 5-minute videos, 30 seconds, 6 seconds, to grab our attention from TV.
Or an hour-long video of somebody playing a fucking video game. I don't get how your generation watches that shit. My kids just do that. You're watching somebody play a video game that I fucking bought you for $100. So why the fuck aren't you playing the game I bought you? Why are you watching this piece of shit?
I don't know.
And they're not good. They're not watching it to get fucking hints and tips of how to pass a level.
Yeah, it's not one of those videos.
They're just fucking watching it, and it's some jerk off who's swearing at the TV all the time. Yeah, they're fucking. I don't even know their names right now.
To be honest, I find PewDiePie kind of inspirational because people are like, oh no, to be big.
Doesn't he hate Jews now?
No, he doesn't. Fucking I don't feel one of those. I don't think he does. He's just an idiot that makes a lot of Jew jokes.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, to me, it's inspirational because he's, like, some people are like, oh, you gotta move to LA to be a big YouTuber. Yeah. He's some dink from Sweden, and he's the guy. Yeah, I know. He's 30 more million subscribers than anyone else. Like, he's the fucking guy.
Well, I used to film the Nelson, Mark, and Kyle show, as you're aware. I loved filming it. It was a lot of fun. I think it's too long. It's just me shitting on Mark, week after week. Yeah. But it was fun when I was doing it. To me, the pain in the ass was doing all the editing and shit. I put all this fucking work in. And talking him into doing it, right? That was the hardest part. Because he fucking hated it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, like, what I was thinking before, it's like I'm a little bit older than your kids. Like, I'm 23. Yeah. Your oldest kid is, like,
21.
How many kids do you have?
6.
Yeah, sure. Shit.
And a grandkid now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I was kind of thinking the other day, it's like how your oldest grandkid's gonna be really close to your youngest kid. Hey, like, what's the age difference? Like,
yeah, well, Emily is 6 and Lily's 8 months. So they're 5 years apart.
Hey, you can raise my sisters.
It's weird, man. And if I knock up some Tijuana hooker, she'll have an aunt that's like, younger than her, you know? It's a possibility.
Fuck.
I don't bang Tijuana hookers. Editor's note, we can include that.
Yeah, well, it's got it. Yeah.
I don't do that either.
Fuck, I knew this was gonna be bad, me and you, because I had like a list of talking points, and I've hit maybe one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've done a lot of interviews. Funny you mentioned beer for breakfast, because I was thinking about that on the way down here. Right, I've done a lot of interviews, and I always felt like the strength of an interview relies more on the interviewer than the interviewee. Certainly, I gotta add to it, but if you're a shitty interviewer, it's gonna all suck. And you haven't been. This has been fun for me. It's been erratic, but it's been fun. And I mentioned beer for breakfast because Bruce is crazy. I mean, he's very political, so when I go and see him, I love his interview style, by the way. I'm not shitting on him. I love meeting with him, but he goes to places where, again, I gotta say, even when I have hearing, because right now I'm deaf and I need a surgery thing. Yeah. Even when I have hearing, sometimes I gotta look at Bruce and just be like, oh yeah, and I have no idea what he's talking about, because I'm not political. That guy will go everywhere in a conversation. So I like that style.
There's being political in private, but then it's, I don't know, I'm trying to, not air my political, I don't know, because it's you work in a very liberal industry, and, I have a lot of liberal views, but then I have, the odd conservative view, and it's fuck, people, jump, you're a monster. It's I don't know, and it's just, some of it was Bruce, right? First time I met him, if anyone watches it this far, I remember the first time I met him was in Shannon's, and it was, 2016, before President won, and I remember, I was I think he's gonna win. I was I read The Art of the Deal when I was 16. I think this guy's really fucking smart. Yep. He's a little bit emotionally stable, but whether you think he's bad, good, or evil, I think he's smart. Yeah. He's gonna win. No, there's no fucking way. Never in hell. No. And it's funny, because those same people that said he's never gonna win are saying he's gonna be bad, and it's just based on their precedent, I think maybe he'll just be good, because all those people were wrong. Yeah, and now you're doing the thing where you're not and just going, yeah.
No. I'm with you on this conversation to the degree that I'm thinking in Bruce's, I'm in his corner. How the fuck did any of us think, besides you, that Trump was gonna fucking win? I'll tell you something even funnier than that. I was doing a presentation in Brandon on the Gender Frontier Speakers Series on Indigenous masculinity. I was talking to a group of feminist students. Yeah. And the night before the election, I stood in front of them and I said, I think it's an interesting time we live in, because tomorrow we're going to have the first female president. Because I was so convinced. There's not a fucking chance in hell Trump. After that whole grab her by the pussy thing, come on, man. After that, how the fuck did America still vote for him? And this isn't me saying either way whether I give a fuck about him being president. Maybe I support him. Yeah. But how the fuck, after all that he did and said, did they still go and vote that fucker in? It boggles my mind. So I'm with Bruce on that one. At that point in time, I was there. I remember him telling you, there's no fucking way. And me going, yep, there's no fucking way, Mackenzie, you're nuts. But fuck, apparently you're not. It's crazy. And I need to learn people's names, because I can actually drop their names. But I was at Rumors, and the meet and greet after you talk to the comedian, and it was kind of pre-election or post-election. And he said it's something in the entertainment industry in Hollywood, no one liked him. And that's why Hillary had so many votes against him. But the Midwestern American loved him. While people in LA were in the streets crying. And it was maybe a little bit of nudge on the shoulder. It's maybe you guys are disconnected from the rest of the world. Uh-huh. And I don't know, maybe that's how I feel about shit. It's just, I don't know, it's weird when you hear ultra rich people be oh, why do middle class Americans, why do people in downtown feel so unsafe? Meanwhile they're in a double gated community with armed guards. So it's the Queen being we should not be worried about terrorism. It's pretty easy to say when you're living in a fucking fortified palace with 24-hour security. It's funny because I'm I'm not going to talk politics, but it always slips out. It always. Yeah. I do like that. It's my smug little moment right now. It's even though it's 2 years later, but it's everyone said he wouldn't, and not to be whether to say I'm for him against him, but it's just I was I'm pretty sure he's going to win. Yeah, well, at this point, I feel like he's not going to get impeached. He's going to start jerking off in front of people, and they're going to let him get away with it. This is the kind of shit that this guy can do. He's not going to get impeached. He's going to fucking win a second term. I'm not saying these are things I want to happen. I'm just saying at this point, it seems like he's untouchable.
You just look at whatever his opposers say, and it's whatever they say just seems to never fucking happen.
He's gonna go all the way a second term unless Russia decides they don't want him to have one.
Yeah, that's another thing. The whole pee conspiracy or whatever.
yeah, he totally did that. So you got a picture he's peeing on. You know what I don't get is why are you peeing on hookers in a bed that you're gonna sleep in, right? Because wasn't that a thing? He was
I don't think it's true. I think it was just fucking made up.
I don't know.
You know, and it's, I don't know, a lot of people grew up watching The Apprentice, so, like, it's weird, and I tell people, whether you like him or hate him, if a reality TV star can become president, then, like, you can do anything.
Yeah.
No one, and it's like, if, you know, people in your life have been like, you fucking suck, you're a shitty comedian. Remember all the people that are like, you fucking suck, Trump, you're not going to be president. Yeah, like, look who's laughing now, right?
The shit that I have put out in the past is going to come back to haunt me in a big way if I ever run for any kind of political office.
I think it'll be fine. You know, the world's getting crazy. You know, I think it was like a change-up. We don't want a politician anymore. And it's like, well, he's not. He's like some fucking crazy dude, like really smart business-wise, but he says a lot of like rude, ruthless shit. And I think people it's the reason why people like Rick and Morty. You know, Rick from Rick.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, the same reason why they like Rick is the same reason why people like Trump, I think, is because they say rude, bashful shit. Whether you agree with them or not, it's like, man, I wish I was like able to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting time in history. I think this will be like one of the presidents that's like a milestone when people look back. Because it is a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's like Ronald Reagan, an actor, being a fucking president. Now it's a reality TV star.
They're going to add Trump to Rushmore at some point.
Yeah. Well, it's going to
He'll pay for it himself.
Gold-plated, too.
Yeah.
Advice that you'd give to comedians.
Hey, let's talk shawarma for a second.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to drop the name of the place, but there's a place right around here, shawarma. It's very good, so I'm not shitting on it, but it was weird because I went in there because I'm hungry and fat, and I ordered this combo plate. Now, when you order a combo plate, they know what they put on their combo plate, don't they? Right? Because I'm walking through, and every step of the way, they're like, oh yeah, did you want this stuff, right? Like, or no. I'm like, I paid for it, didn't I? Right? Give me all the fucking shit I paid for.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and chicken you want? Oh, I ordered fucking chicken. You got a veggie option on there. I didn't order it.
Yeah.
I didn't order the chicken shawarma, so I got the fucking veggie plate. When you go to Burger King and order a Whopper combo, they're not like, and did you want the burger, right? Like, that's fucking weird shit to me. Every step of the way, fuck you, give me what I paid for. And then at the end, he throws a pile of fucking chips on top of everything. I don't know, it's just weird. I just wanted to rant a bit.
You're just not cultured. You just don't get other.
I guess not. Yeah. Just if I paid for it, put it on my fucking plate. I'll figure out later if I want to eat it.
Yeah. But like, fuck. This was supposed to be all structured around comedy. I don't give a fuck anymore. But the comedian starting out. Like, what would you say? What was the first time being on stage like as well?
Oh yeah, the Comedy Store. Fuck yeah. Where was I?
That was like half an hour ago.
Okay, it was at the Comedy Store. I told the first joke. I got a laugh. And then I bombed for the next 2 minutes. It was only a 3-minute set, but I was hooked. That first laugh gets you hooked, right? And I wanted to come back and do it more. And then I started doing the contest here in Winnipeg. So I got labeled a contest guy, right? So I wasn't welcome at shows because I was a contest guy. I wasn't to be taken seriously.
A lot of weird names and labels, eh?
Well, you know, I kind of get it. You know, you're not out supporting the scene. You're not doing anything, and you think you know how to do it, right? You know?
Yeah. No, I just find like everything in Manitoba, or maybe it's just like this everywhere else in the world. It's like I had a girlfriend that did karate, and I had a girlfriend that fucking played reenact, and like when I played hockey, there's like these weird politics in kids' sports. I remember like playing sports, and fucking parents are fighting in the stands. It's like, what the hell's wrong with people? Like, like people need to learn how to not give a fuck.
And that's my philosophy. Don't give a fuck, right? Like anybody started an open mic and didn't know what they're doing. I don't give a shit. They'll figure it out or they'll fail. Why the fuck does it affect me, right? I don't care. So. And that's any advice for comics you want me to get up on stage as much as humanly possible in every single room. There's rooms in this city that some people won't go to because they hate it, or they don't like the emptiness, right? To me, if you can't do Aussies, right? Remember Aussies was the thing? Yeah. You can't do that. You can't survive a real show. You have to be able to do a show where it's not packed with your friends in the crowd and a supportive, loving
safe Aussies. Okay, let's talk about that's where I started, but I've struggled there. Not to be like, oh, poor me, but there's like fucking the schizophrenic guy yelling at himself in the corner. That's a little distracting.
And that's fucking
there's
like
on the road, 5 drunk smash chicks, like you like take a moment to breathe, and all of a sudden they're fucking talking again, and then it's like a little contest who can talk louder over each other. It's like fuck, like
and I'm not saying love it and go to it all the time, but you have to be able to play to all these rooms, right?
Yeah. That's actually when I did it. That's what I found was interesting because even like going to Alberta compared to like Winnipeg, I guess they're a lot more conservative province than we are, and even different rooms here. It's like I remember I did like something I found challenging was to do like an open mic that wasn't a comedy open mic but just an open mic. Okay. And that's where I felt I grew as a comedian. I was a comedian because like you're going after a guy who plays a nice fucking piano ballad.
Sure, like, right. Some guy just did a 10-minute slam poetry about how his father used to beat him, and now you got to go up there and try to make him smile, right?
And it's oh god.
That's what I mean though. You got to be able to do all these rooms, right? You got to be able to do the frat boy room, if you want to call it that. You have to be able to do the room that's packed full of women. You got to be able to adjust your style to meet that crowd's needs, right? And you have to be able to do a room where there's some schizophrenic in the corner screaming at himself. Yeah. Because that's going to be some drunk broad in Thunder Bay, right? I use the word broad. I'm going to hit.
No, there's no
I'm going to catch heat. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I am who I am. But that's what you're going to experience on the road, right? You're going to experience crazy people. I mean, I've seen dudes in the front row get up and try to fight people on stage, right? Yeah. You know?
But then, you know what, it's funny, because I remember this, I was in a super, like, liberal artsy, and I was like, most of these people got gender and studies degrees. And at first, like, we live in Manitoba where there's, like, a big divide, like, racial divide, you know, white versus native, yada, yada. But there's a bunch of native guys, and I think I cracked native jokes for the first fucking, like, 5 minutes I was up, and all the native guys liked it, but all the, you know, the gender study hipster students just fucking hated me, but I divided the room. I don't know, I made like, camaraderie with them or whatever, and it's just, I don't know, like,
They're just waiting to beat your ass in the parking lot.
Yeah, well, fuck,
to give you a false sense of security. Then you get outside and they beat the shit out of you.
But it's like, I find, like, the risks, like, when comedians take risks, but then don't... I found it's confidence. That's the biggest thing. It's like that disaster artist, Tommy Wiseau. That motherfucker made the stupidest stuff, but he was the most confident. So I think that's why he was eventually successful.
Yeah.
And I've seen comics, like, they've opened with some stupid-ass jokes, but they kept in their heads, no, I'm good, I'm fucking... It was something Summers. I remember watching her at a contest, like, her first joke. It was a big contest that you were doing, and her first joke didn't hit, but she kept going, and she kept going, and then eventually won the crowd. It wasn't like an offensive joke, it was just a joke no one got that she made up that day.
Yeah.
But I found, like, fuck, it's like, I would all of a sudden be telling a joke, and then all of a sudden I'd stop and be like, no, it's not funny, and, like, that's when people are like, you gotta stop doing that. Like, I think it's a good, it's like taking an acting class. I think it just makes you better as a person. If you can learn to speak in front of people and learn how to be confident, to keep your jokes going.
Yeah, you definitely got to be able to not be rattled, right? Like, people aren't going to agree with everything you say as being funny or whatever, right? And sometimes they're going to be actively, you know, angry at you, right? Like, this could happen. So you have to be able to fucking own what you're saying.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you throw something out and it doesn't work, you got to move on. If you get stuck on that shit, the rest of your stuff's going to stumble out of you and it's going to be crappy and you're not going to connect. You got to be able to connect with who you can in the crowd. Yeah. I've been in shows where, at the beginning especially, I used to think rape jokes were hilarious, the best thing in the world, right? And I told a bunch of them and I would fucking just polarize the audience and think I was killing it because this table of dudes is laughing. Meanwhile, this woman here, they're consoling their friend who was raped a week ago and I'm fucking on stage re-victimizing them, right? So I don't do that shit anymore. But if you're going to go to those places, you better be able to back your shit up and own it, right? That's all I feel. I feel like if you're going to say anything on stage, own it and move forward. You know, and maybe learn from it at the end, right?
Yeah, I think comedy is a weird thing, though. Like, you got to be careful what you talk about, but at the same time, it's like if you can't... It's like, that's Lucy quote, of course, but it's like, what is it? You gotta joke about everything, because it's like a cure for it. So it's like, why would you not want to cure this? Why would you not? Because when you're joking...
I don't think, you know, I'm going to go on a limb here and say, I don't think you... I mean, I know you should, but me personally, I don't think you have to be careful what you say. I think you go steamroller, full speed ahead, and be open to learning at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm going to say anything that I fucking think is funny, and I say things that I think are funny that I know are totally wrong and fucking terrible, because that's how my mind deals with things, right? Like, I'll make jokes about fucked up shit, you know? Like, if my mom was dying of cancer, I'd probably make cancer jokes. That's not me meaning to be ignorant towards people. I know damn well what that experience is like and how horrendous it is, but that's how my mind processes it. The only thing I say is you can say whatever the fuck you want, but you have to be ready to deal with those consequences, because you are going to piss people off. So either you need to be able to learn from that or be able to say, fuck you, I'm owning what I say.
Yeah. Something I think people should realize about comedy, though, is there's always... comedy, I was looking up, what's the evolutionary reason why we, why do we laugh? It's to console pain. So, like, every thing that's ever funny, someone's always the butt of the joke. Like, there's no joke that's funny without someone being in the pain. Whether it's a comedian on stage talking about how poor and how much of a fucking loser and how bad in bed he is, it's funny because it's like, that guy's hurt, and that guy's... It's kind of like that, and I think comedians should also, what you were saying, go for what you say, but then not bastardize other people when they fuck up. Because I think everyone slips up, especially in comedy, when you're throwing shit out there and seeing it sticks. The beautiful thing about the internet is, like, all these politicians and everyone, it's like, and I think some of it's super ridiculous. Like, there's this, like, the Young Turks guy, I don't know if you know who that is. He got in trouble because, like, 30 years ago, he wrote on a blog about, like, how he loves sucking titties or whatever, and he's getting, like, bastardized, and he got kicked out of his, like, social justice warrior clubs, and it's like, he apologized, and it's like, but the funny thing is, though, we've all said fucked up shit, but no one wants to admit it. It's like...
Well, I mean, can't you love sucking titties and still be respectful towards women? I think I do both. I'm mostly respectful to women. Yeah, says the guy who used the word broad a few minutes ago. But You know, I've said a lot of fucked up shit in my past. I was jokingly saying that I could never run for political office. I think I've learned from a lot of the shit I've said in the past. I cringe when I look Facebook on this day. Yeah. I see some of the shit I posted. I'm like, holy fuck, how did I think that was
everyone
funny?
Does that.
That's terrible. But I put it out there, right? At the time, I thought it was funny. I was trying to do something, right? And, you know, don't think I'd ever apologize for a fucking joke that I did.
I think I might, but, well, I don't know, I guess different people, but I think the beautiful thing about today, and I think in 20 years from now, people will finally realize is, like, we've all said really fucked up things, and all those weird Snapchats you send, it's like, motherfuckers in the company can see that, and it's like, you know, let's say you're running for political office, and your opponent really wants to pay for a lot of dirt on you, you know, they're going to find some of your Snapchats or something. You know, that one where you put your fucking leg behind your head and shove your asshole off? Mr. President.
You're right. Everybody said something fucked up. I think it's hilarious that I see people in Facebook in our community attacking other people for an offensive joke, a sexist comment, or racist joke. But I've had inbox conversations with these people where they've said shit like that.
Yeah.
So we're all guilty of it, and you know, we just point the finger, right, when it's
well, it's like
somebody we don't like.
Harvey Weinstein happened, and then Ben Affleck's like, that's disgusting, and a lot of people disavowed him, which they should have. But then, like, Ben Affleck was talking about it, and they're like, well, what about that time you groped that reporter? And, I don't know if it was live, but he's like, come on, girl, whip them titties out.
Yeah, I saw that,
And then it's just like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah. And again, you know what he did back then was wrong? Absolutely. But again, it's not the same level as what Harvey Weinstein was doing.
Yeah, of course. And I think...
And I've seen it already. I've seen people going crazy saying, well, you're saying that it's different and that makes it... I'm not saying it's okay at any fucking level. I'm just saying it is different. Am I going to get in trouble because I say it's fucking different if I rape you or if I grab your ass? Because Matt Damon's in trouble right now for saying that. Yeah, it's fucking bad to grab a chick's ass, you know, when she doesn't want you to. That's fucking disrespectful and it's assault. Absolutely. But I'm not fucking wrong by saying it's different than fucking rape. It's still shitty. Absolutely. It's still shitty and he should still get in trouble. But when he says it's not the same thing, I don't think he needs to be attacked for that. Yeah, it's not the same thing. I'm going to be attacked now. I'm going to be the Winnipeg bad guy because he's still a piece of shit for doing it.
Or this podcast will get like 2 views and it won't matter.
You know? It's only going to be us watching it anyway.
So like, man, we were fucking great. No, that's like a weird thing about it is, like, I totally agree. And like, people can't even talk about it because they're so afraid, but I feel... people should talk about it.
How do you learn it? That's what I felt, right? If you're too scared to speak, if I'm too scared to post on Facebook and say, hey, what's going on? I think Matt Damon was right. Then maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah.
And maybe there's an opportunity for somebody to educate me and teach me and open my fucking eyes more. But if I'm too scared to say it because I'm going to get attacked and shut down, then I'm not going to learn shit. So we need to create a climate and a culture where people can have dissenting opinions and share them to the point where we can have an open discussion and a dialogue and not fucking waving your finger at me telling me I'm a sexist fucking cisgendered male, whatever the fuck I am, right? Yeah. Like, let's have a dialogue about that. Help me understand these things.
Like,
I'm sorry to use that, but I've seen that a lot where people are getting shaken down, you know?
You know, and a lot of my, like, super liberal friends, like, I'm like, I believe in free speech. And it's funny because, like, the left seemed to used to be so for free speech, and now it's kind of funny because, like, back in the day, patriots of America hated Russia. Now patriots of America seem to like Russia. It's just...
Especially Trump.
Yeah. But, like, even those guys in Charlottesville, those fuckers that march, those KKK pricks.
Yeah.
I was a big believer, like, that's important that they get to do that. Why? Because now you know that exists. You know that's a thing. Now people can't say, oh, racism isn't real. It's like, nah, it is. Look at those guys. I think it's more dangerous for movements like that to fester underground. I think it's better that, you know, you can see it, or it's like... I don't know, like, a lot of liberals said this after Trump won, too. They're like, maybe understand why people wanted to vote for him.
Yeah.
And a lot of older liberals bastardize my generational liberals, because it's like, maybe people won because they're tired of being called racist. And, like, every conversation, like you just said, it's like, you might agree with him a little bit. Oh, you're a fucking sexist pig, motherfucker. You know, it's people are tired of that. And they're like, oh, well, you could hate that guy, so I'm going to vote for the guy that you hate, kind of thing. Like, enemy of my enemy. And I feel like that's a big reason why he won. And motherfucker, he's going to be talked about. I think he won, you know why? He's a reality TV star, and he knows how to keep people's attention, and he just kept keeping people's attention.
Sure. Watch my left hand, don't worry about what my right hand is doing.
Yeah.
Sneaky bastard. Right hand is peeing on hookers in Russia.
Okay. Back to Colombia. You got, how many kids you got?
I got 6 kids.
Yeah, I asked you that, but...
did, and a grandkid. Yeah. Are you going to edit out that you asked me the same question?
Nah, I got... Well...
Phone it all.
Yeah, I got, you know, I don't know, I think that's why people like the one-take stuff, is because, like, even when you're looking stupid, I know that I say yeah, like a fucking moron.
Oh, yeah?
Did you have to click something off, or...?
Oh, it stops after 30 minutes.
Oh. Did it restart though? Yeah. Okay, sorry. See, even then, my camera guy Dylan Bailey's here. You know what I mean? Probably disgusted by half the things we're saying, but
he's
masturbating
the whole time.
Okay.
Talking about Louis C.K. What's up with this guy? Fuck. That's the first thing I thought when I sat down. So why is the cameraman not wearing pants? And then he told me I needed to open up, and he was looking at my legs. That's a true story. Let's not forget that part. He Weinsteined me the second I got in the room. Are we keeping any of this shit?
Yeah, no. Oh, fuck. See, I'm like, I gotta keep it raw. And no, none of that's happening, Dylan. Jesus. Dylan's gonna be like
6 kids. I got 6 kids, Mackenzie.
That's good.
Found them all at the park.
That's great. So I'm guessing you're more of a pro-life than a pro-choice?
Oh, we want to go there. Let's go down that fucking rabbit hole, eh? Holy shit. I think you should be allowed to abort fucking children all the way up until age 18. Once you're 18, you can live. Up until then, it's my call.
Woo!
Death penalty now? Should we go there? Death penalty?
Yeah, let's...
Abortion? Done politics?
Yeah.
Talk about rape?
Yeah, let's get... Yeah, that's the funniest thing about Facebook.
Who else can we offend today?
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know, I find it's like people can get mad about anything. It's like, I can fucking mention the weather.
Yeah. And
like, that's what you're supposed to stick to. You're supposed to stick to your weather and your health. But even that, it's like all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling sick. Oh, you should go get a vaccine. And then another guy in the background's like, no, vaccines are stupid, man. Don't fucking get that. Yeah. My kid has autism. And then all of a sudden global warming and fucking...
Yeah. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. I've noticed everybody's hypocrites. I'm probably a hypocrite too. I probably jump back and forth in this conversation and have said dissenting opinions because, we're all trying to figure it out all the time, right? But, I notice I post all kinds of fucked up jokes and people laugh and say, that's hilarious, that's great, I love it. And then you post something that affects them. Well, that's terrible, I'm going to block you now. Like, fuck you, man, Just because it affects you, this other shit is funny, but this isn't.
Yeah.
Everybody has their thing. I don't give a shit anymore. If you're going to be offended by me, fucking delete me, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm too old to give a fuck anymore. I'm not a real comedian, per se. I got some shows, I'm doing some stuff. Well, I'm not a real person that...
I feel like you've toured a lot.
Maybe. I don't consider... Like, you mentioned me in the same breath as Big Daddy Taz and, those guys. I feel like that's a different level than I'm at yet. I would like to be there. Don Bernstein, Big Daddy Taz, Matt Falk. There's lots of people in Winnipeg that are at that level. I'm not there yet. I still consider
myself... That's
what
I was talking about, the guy with the fucking... does, like, the circle, and he goes like this, and he does... That's Matt Falk, I think.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Oh, yeah, that's who you're talking about. Okay, yeah, he's hilarious. That guy's one of the best comics anywhere, I think, man. Never mind just in Winnipeg. Matt Falk is brilliant.
Yeah. And
completely clean, and that's what I don't just respect that about him, but it's pretty cool.
It's a lot harder to be funny when you're being completely
Absolutely clean. Is. I used to disagree with that all the time and say, fuck you. I'm going to own my voice and say what I want on stage, but it's definitely more difficult because a lot of people in the crowd want that greasy, dirty shit. And if you can make that biker laugh, talking about your kid being late for school and not wanting to put on his mittens, fuck. You're doing something right. Yeah. And Matt Falk can do that. He's brilliant. Dean Jenkinson, another local guy, very, very funny. Doesn't need to go dark like that. So we got a lot of guys at that level. I'm not at that level. I'd like to be at that level. I'm working on it on my own. Not doing the open mic anymore, but I'm still working on getting there. But I feel like my voice doesn't really matter that much, and nobody's voice matters. That's the thing with comedy, especially. Everybody thinks that they have something important to say, and everybody should listen.
I think comics have bigger egos than rappers. Like, that's the funniest thing I think about it. Is like, fuck, man, they all think they're the best thing.
And that's why there's so much fucking infighting and trying to shut each other down, because we all think our voice matters more than anyone. And I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy. So all the comics coming up, do as much comedy as you possibly can in as many rooms as you can. Don't listen to anyone's bullshit about fucking rumors and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Just do your thing and don't give a fuck. That's my advice.
Something I developed from maybe I added to the infighting, but I started to learn this is bad. Like, I don't know when I did comedy. I was like 19, 20, 21, 23 now. I started not laughing at other people's jokes, like really just straight facing everything. And maybe it's like a fucked up thing. It's like, no, I want there to be more noise when I go up. And I remember I even brought like friends to like the rumors contest, and I remember just giving my friends death glares when they laugh. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Oh yeah, man? I remember doing that.
Yeah, and it's just like, I know all my comedian friends that were there to support me and that didn't like the other comedians were all straight faced, not laughing at the jokes. And then my friends who were, I guess casual goers of comedy, I'm like death glaring them like.
That's a funny joke, so I laughed. What the fuck are you doing? You're here to laugh for me.
Laugh louder, too. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that happens in comedy, too, because we are so damn competitive and egotistical. If you get up on stage and you tell a joke, and it's fucking hilarious, I don't want to laugh at it, because I'm probably mad that I didn't write it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I have something similar, but it's not nearly as good as you got. Like, there's a comic, Paul Verblowski, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for talking about him, talk about everybody. Apparently he doesn't like me. Fuck him, I don't care. But he's got a hilarious bit about child and family services, right? And kid wanting to be in care. I'm a social worker by background. This is my trade, right? I didn't think of this joke, and he tells it, and it's fucking brilliant. It cracks me up every time he fucking says it. Yeah. And when I hear him say it, I think I laughed the first time, but after that, I'm like, it's hilarious, but I don't want to laugh, because fuck you for coming up with that joke. That's a great joke, and I don't have it now. So I think we do that a lot, where we see comedians, and we get, fuck, I wish I wrote that. So we're too busy being envious to be able to actually enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I remember even that glass dick guy. There's stuff, like, that was the guy that tagged me in that fucking weird status accused. I don't know why, I've never met him, but and I feel like maybe he's not, like, proud that he did apologize. I gotta give him that. Yeah. But to his, I think a lot of people told him that it was me. So he, whatever, wanted to be the front runner and, like, tag me in it and shut me down. It's like, nah, man, like, I got messages from this guy, too. Yeah. But it's funny, because there was one comedian who was always like, oh, he never messaged me. It's like, yeah, because it was you. Everyone, I don't know, fucking bringing up stuff from, like, 3 years ago. Yeah. I feel like I know who it was, but...
I feel like I know who it was, too. Yeah. Compare notes afterwards.
Yeah, we will. Fucking... Not to say I haven't ran a fake Facebook account ever, but, you know. Wasn't that one in particular. I feel like we should wrap up. Like, I don't know if anyone's going to be watching this long anyways.
How long did we go for?
Over an hour.
Oh, wow. Look at us go.
Fuck,
man. Dylan's a trooper.
I'm not even going to watch this shit.
Yeah, no. Hey, you know, fuck it. You know what YouTube is now? It's all about the watch time. Yep. YouTubers add, like, 10 seconds of fucking silence and blackness after each video, but that's, like, a couple more cents per video.
Oh, really?
That they get, because it's not about the views, it's about the watch time.
Oh, well, run this shit for another 80 minutes then.
Yo, fuck yeah. Fuck you, dude. We're staying here.
No, it's just a black screen, just fade out. Just leave it filming this shit.
Yeah. Fuck it. You know what I'm going to hate about this? Is I and I say yeah like a fucking... And honestly, this is a secret if anyone watched this far. I cut all that shit out in all my other interviews.
Really?
Yeah, I'm normally this bad. Like, I get better every time, but I'm normally like, yeah. And when I, like, blank out, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's interesting, and I don't even know, you know, it's just like...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm my only regret is the shitty shawarma joke I tried to get in, and it didn't fucking go anywhere, and I fucking got in the middle of it, and I was, like, trying to do something. So I wish we could cut that one, you know, but...
can't, fuck, sorry.
Own it.
No, that's what I like about the podcast, because it's, like, people real, and it's like, what, you know, kind of, people blanking, and... But, the cousin thing, that's a Don Burnstick.
Don Burnstick shit. I stole his hat. If anyone wants to buy it, $20. Give me a call. I need money. I'm a comedian. I got nothing to promote, really. I got a show coming up in Brandon. It's to raise money for this kid who's got muscular dystrophy, and it's on January 22nd, I believe. Stalk me on Facebook. You can find all the details. I got that coming up. That's the one thing I would want anybody to support if they want to support anything I got coming up.
Do you have anything on YouTube going right now? Like,
I don't post shit on you. I got old shit on YouTube, right? Like, you know, and I post dumb shit. Like, I still pick on Mark all the time, and I'll film him and talk about rim jobs and shit and post it. And
how'd you and Mark meet?
Fuck, I went to school with him. I moved to St. Mattel when I was, like, 11 years old. And he was a kid in school that everybody picked on. No surprise. He got beat up every day, right? On the way to and from school. And after a couple of years, I knew who he was but wasn't friends with him. And then I stopped somebody from beating him up, and then he started following me around, and that was pretty much it. And then, I stopped everybody from bullying him, and then a few years go by, and I became his bully. So, but, you know, anybody that knows the dynamic between me and that guy knows he's a bit of a piece of shit. He gets what's coming to him. And I help him out in a lot of ways, too, so there's a balance there, right?
I think I'm going to look like a piece of shit for laughing at half the stuff we said.
Probably.
But anyways, I think we're way the fuck out of time. Thanks.
Yeah, we've beaten a dead horse on this one.
Thanks to Nelson. Thanks to Dylan.
Thanks for having me, Mackenzie.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. Sorry. What time is it?
Like 10 to 1.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
You're late. I'm late. Oh, fuck. Sorry, man.
That's awesome, man. I liked it.
Where'd you get that?
Throw that up one.
Yeah.
Fuck it, eh?
Gotta sync the sound.
Okay.
Sweet.